So today we're going to dive into a really fascinating framework for turning a student's potential into, real-world success. And we're going to do it by following the journey of one student, Arun, to see how a structured approach can totally bridge that gap between the classroom and a career.
And this really is the big question, isn't it? It's the one that so many bright students face. You've got the knowledge, you've got the grades, you've even got the passion. But how do you make all of that actually count out there in the real world?
Well, our story kicks off with a challenge that's super common. It's embodied by our student, Arun. He's a perfect example of thousands of learners who have all this potential for success but are just missing that clear path to unlock it. Let's put a name to this problem. We're calling it the potential paradox. And it's that super frustrating situation where being book smart just isn't enough to land the job, or lead a project, or get that new idea off the ground. All that knowledge is there, but it's like it's locked in a box, and you don't have the keys. I mean, look at Arun. On paper, he had everything you'd look for, right? He was bright, he was sincere, and he had a really solid grasp of theory. But his background meant he was facing these huge gaps. No real exposure to innovation, his communication skills weren't developed, and he had absolutely zero industry connections. It's like he had a great engine, but no road to drive it on. So for someone like Arun, the transformation doesn't start with just another class or a new textbook. No, it starts with something way more fundamental, a complete shift in the entire educational culture. It's all about building a brand new foundation for growth from the ground up. And that foundation? It's built on what they call the 3P culture. This is what greets every student right from the beginning. First up, find your purpose, your why. Like, why does this all matter beyond just getting a grade? Then you got to understand the process, the how. How do you actually go about solving problems? And finally, you connect with people, the who, finding those mentors and friends who are going to support you and push you. Now, that process part isn't just about following a checklist. It's actually powered by a really powerful mindset called design thinking. And what this does is it teaches students to lead with empathy, to actually understand a problem from a human perspective before you even try to solve it. This totally shifts the focus from just finding answers to asking the right questions in the first place.
Okay, so once that cultural foundation is in place, we can look at the core educational structure, the real framework for action that's going to systematically build up a student's abilities.
Now, this isn't just a list of departments. You have to think of it as a holistic 360-degree system for development. Each one of these pillars is specifically designed to fill in a gap that students like Arun face. Let me show you how it works. Learning and teaching stops being about lectures and becomes about hands-on projects. Skill development is where Arun gets into workshops and really works on his communication. The Center for Creativity is where he's joining hackathons, turning all that theory into actual code. Industry Connect, well, that's what gets him into real internships, and social responsibility connects his skills to his community, giving his work a much deeper meaning. So we've got the foundation and we've got the pillars, but what makes it all go? You need an engine, a system that's always running, always sharpening skills, and turning that static knowledge into dynamic action. And this is that engine, the 3C growth loop. And it's not a one-and-done lesson. It's a cycle that keeps going. Curiosity pushes you to ask better questions. Logical thinking helps you organize the answers into a solid plan. And then your technical skills let you build that plan into something real. Each part just feeds the next, creating this constant momentum of growth. All right, so we've seen all the inputs, the culture, the pillars, the engine. But what's the actual result of this whole system? What really happens to a student like Arun?
I mean, just look at this slide. The transformation is right there in black and white. The student who walked in with only theoretical knowledge now has practical, hands-on skills. The shy communicator becomes a confident presenter. And maybe most importantly, the academic follower who just soaked up information becomes a compassionate innovator who actually creates solutions.
And ultimately, this is the mindset that gets built. It's so much bigger than just getting a job. An entrepreneurial mindset is all about seeing every challenge, every problem, not as a roadblock, but as an invitation, an opportunity to create something new, to lead, and to make a real impact. And what's so crucial is that this entire journey is built on a bedrock of core values: sincerity, nobility, and service. These aren't just some words on a wall. They make sure that all the skills and the mindset being developed are grounded in strong character and a real desire to contribute to society. So really, the big takeaway here is that a framework like this does so much more than just prep someone for their first job.
By building this foundation of purpose, skills, and values, it's actually setting them up for a lifetime of growth, of being able to adapt, and of making a contribution.
And we'll just end on this thought, because it really says it all. The goal is to create an environment where a student's inner purpose can finally connect with their passion, and that allows them to forge their own unique path, not just to success, but to true excellence.
So today,